Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the mystique surrounding one such piece of copper-plated treasure, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin from the year 1998. The year was 1998. A period that carried with it the quiet transformation of a nation nestled between tradition and progress. Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for over 4 decades. Britain was embracing a new cultural identity, with the buzz of the internet age humming quietly in the background and a youthful optimism energizing the population. Amidst the winds of change, in the royal mint's hallowed halls, struck quietly and routinely, was a humble yet historic coin, a 2p piece that would one day become the subject of immense fascination. At first glance, the 1998 2p coin looks like any other in circulation. Its round, copper-plated steel weighs 7.12 grams and measures 25.91 millimeters in diameter. But as collectors know all too well, true rarity hides in plain sight. The coin features the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on its obverse, as rendered by the celebrated artist Raphael Maklauf. Her Majesty faces right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, exuding dignity, grace, and steadfast leadership, a familiar yet deeply comforting sight to generations of Britons. On the reverse, the coin proudly bears the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, above the motto, Ich diene, German for I serve. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this heraldic symbol reflects centuries of royal heritage, specifically linked to the investiture of the Prince of Wales, a title historically granted to the heir apparent to the British throne. The words, 2p, arc neatly across the top, with the date, 1998, firmly placed below the design, an anchor in time for this copper-clad enigma. But to understand what makes the 1998 edition so special, we must step deeper into the annals of minting. The Royal Mint, Britain's ancient minting institution founded over 1,000 years ago, has always been known for its precision and craftsmanship. The 2p coin had been in circulation since 1971, when decimalization changed the face of British currency forever. In that initial run, the coins were struck in bronze. But as metal prices rose, the mint made a crucial shift in 1992. It began minting the 2p coins in copper-plated steel instead. The 1998 edition belongs to this newer generation of coins, but within that year's production, something unusual happened. Anomalies in minting, low production volumes, and mysterious errors all contributed to a storm of intrigue. Some coins were reportedly struck with old dies, others exhibited unusual luster or doubled lettering, and a handful, as whispered among collectors, may have even been produced in a bronze alloy by mistake. These deviations, however slight, became legendary in the numismatic world. It's these whispered secrets that spark flames of passion in coin collectors. A coin is never just a coin, it's a moment, a relic, a tangible piece of the past. And for those who chase rarities, the 1998 2p coin holds the perfect balance of familiar design and hidden magic. Many of these coins entered circulation as usual, passed hand to hand, slipped into change purses, tossed into fountains, or perhaps forgotten at the bottom of drawers. Yet a select few specimens survived the decades in pristine, uncirculated condition. Fewer still emerged with the rare anomalies that now command the attention of the numismatic elite. Stories began circulating in online forums and collector conventions of 1998 2p coins being auctioned for unprecedented sums. One tale, almost mythic in status, involved a coin that bore slight doubling on the Ich diene motto, a telltale sign of a misaligned die. Another, more mysterious, involved a coin that had retained its brilliant uncirculated finish after 2 decades, a marvel given its base metal's tendency to corrode or dull. Each of these coins was a needle in a haystack, yet the haystack itself had grown smaller as coins were melted down, lost, or damaged over time. As collector awareness grew, so too did the demand. Investors began taking notice. What was once dismissed as pocket change now glittered with possibility. Coin grading agencies like NGC and PCGS were flooded with submissions, as owners hoped their old 1998 coins might hold hidden fortune. Only a minuscule fraction ever returned with top grades, MS 67 or higher, and these became the crown jewels of modern British coin collecting. There's something deeply poetic about the way value emerges in coins. It isn't always about precious metals or ancient lineage. Sometimes it's about stories. It's about a monarch who reigned through a century of change. It's about a design that remained proudly constant while the world morphed around it. And it's about the randomness of fate, how one coin can take a different path than a million others, only to become priceless decades later. Collectors today hunt the 1998 2-pence coin with fervent determination. eBay listings pop up, often selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars. But those are merely the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, private auctions and closed numismatic circles see coins exchanging hands for far more. And when a perfectly preserved 1998 coin with a recognized mint era surfaces, the bidding wars are nothing short of ferocious. Collectors from across Europe, Asia, and America recognize its allure, the perfect storm of rarity, royal legacy, and condition, and it's not just private individuals. Museums, too, have begun to show interest. The Royal Mint Experience has acquired several pristine examples for their archives, and international numismatic exhibitions frequently highlight the coin in their rare modern currency displays. Its appeal is universal, simple yet rich, familiar yet elusive. So, what is this coin worth? That's the question echoing in the minds of viewers around the globe. For a standard circulated 1998 2-pence, the value might seem trivial, perhaps 10 or 20 pence in casual trade. But for those coins preserved immaculately, for those graced with an error or struck in a rare alloy, the numbers skyrocket. In recent years, the value of these ultra-rare specimens has soared exponentially. Some of the highest profile examples have fetched between $250,000 to $2 million in verified auctions. But that's still not the end of the story, because one particular coin, a flawless, mint-era 1998 2-pence featuring a double strike, verified by experts and graded a miraculous MS-68, made headlines when it changed hands in a quiet, invitation-only auction among elite collectors. The bidding was fierce, spanning continents and vaulting past even the boldest estimates. And when the hammer finally fell, the final price stunned the coin-collecting world. That unassuming copper-plated coin, struck over 2 decades ago and once worth just 2 pence, sold for an astounding $25 million. Yes, $25 million. In that moment, the 1998 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin joined the pantheon of numismatic legends. Standing shoulder to shoulder with the 1933 Double Eagle, the 1794 Flowing Hair Silver Dollar, and the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel, it became not just a rare coin but a symbol of how even the most ordinary object can hold extraordinary worth. For viewers and collectors alike, the message is clear: never underestimate the power of a humble coin. Check your change. Dig through your drawers. Examine those forgotten jars of pennies and pence. Because somewhere, perhaps tucked away in a dusty corner or buried beneath everyday clutter, might lie a tiny copper disc that defies logic and carries with it the potential to change your life forever. Top 2. This is the story of the 2006 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, an ordinary piece turned legendary by its rarity, craftsmanship, and a peculiar twist in numismatic history. To understand the significance of this coin, one must first take a journey through time. The tradition of the 2-pence coin began in 1971 with the decimalization of the British currency. Before then, the United Kingdom used a monetary system rooted in centuries-old practices: pounds, shillings, and pence. Decimalization revolutionized this system, and on the 15th of February 1971, Decimal Day, the 2-pence coin was born, part of a new, streamlined system meant to simplify daily transactions for the modern age. By 2006, the 2-pence coin had become a familiar face in the pockets and purses of millions. It was seen as a coin of little consequence, a humble copper-colored circle, often ignored, sometimes discarded, rarely cherished. Yet, hidden among the millions minted in 2006, a few extraordinary pieces emerged. These were no ordinary coins. They held secrets, born not only of their composition and minting but of the story they told about an evolving monarchy, a changing economy, and the unintentional beauty of a rare mistake. The obverse of the 2006 2-pence coin features the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II, facing to the right as tradition dictates. Sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, this effigy was introduced in 1998 and is notable for its realism and maturity. Unlike previous portraits that idealized the Queen, Rank Broadley's design embraced the natural aging of a monarch who had served her nation with steadfast devotion for over 5 decades. The fine detail in her facial features, the texture of her hair, and the refined crown resting atop her head speak volumes of a monarch at the peak of her dignity. Around the effigy is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2006, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription is not merely decorative, it is a proud declaration of the monarchy's divine right and religious significance. Turn the coin over, and you are met with a design both iconic and traditional. The reverse side displays the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This symbol, which dates back to the 14th century and was first adopted by Edward, the Black Prince, is a nod to the continuity of British royalty. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this reverse side had been in use since the coin's inception in 1971 and was about to be replaced just 2 years after this 2006 edition. In a way, this makes the 2006 version part of the final chapters in the life of the original 2-pence design. Little did the public know that a significant design change was coming in 2008, making the 2006 coin some of the last to bear Ironside's original vision. But the real mystery of the 2006 2-pence coin lies not in its artistic design, but in its metallurgy. Originally, 2-pence coins were made from bronze, a mixture of copper, tin, and zinc. However, due to rising metal prices in the early 1990s, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel in 1992. This change was subtle to the public eye, as the new coins retained the familiar reddish hue, but the core was now ferromagnetic. This shift in metal composition would eventually lead to several unusual minting anomalies over the years. In 2006, during an otherwise routine minting run, a small batch of 2-pence coins was reportedly struck using the older bronze blanks instead of the updated copper-plated steel. These anomalies occurred due to leftover stock or a rare clerical oversight at the Royal Mint. While the Mint has never officially confirmed the exact number of such errors, collectors have managed to identify and verify a handful of these rare bronze 2006 2-pence coins, each one significantly heavier than the standard issue and non-magnetic. It was this fluke, this rare and quiet mistake, that set off a firestorm of interest among numismatists across the globe. Collectors began to search frantically, testing 2006 coins with magnets, measuring their weight, inspecting their color under various lights. Many found nothing. But a few, very few, unearthed the true treasures. These bronze specimens were not just errors, they were relics of a bygone era, time travelers from the pre-1992 minting process who had somehow escaped into the wild. Their rarity alone was enough to stir excitement, but their impeccable condition and fascinating backstory made them legendary. Auction houses began to take notice. What was once a pocket change item suddenly appeared in high-profile coin auctions. At first, these bronze 2006 coins fetched a few £100s, then a few thousand. As word spread and collectors became aware of the almost mythical nature of these coins, demand skyrocketed. A verified bronze 2006 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, in near mint condition, sold privately for an astonishing $1.2 million in 2016. By 2023, a coin certified by the Royal Mint Museum and preserved in a top-tier grading case crossed the auction block for a jaw-dropping $8.40 million. But the coin that would truly shake the numismatic world came into the public eye in 2025. This coin, found in an old biscuit tin by an unsuspecting pensioner in Yorkshire, was not only made of bronze but was also in flawless uncirculated condition. The surface glowed with a deep reddish tone, unmarred by time or touch. It weighed precisely 7.12 grams, matching the pre-1992 bronze specifications. Experts from the Royal Numismatic Society confirmed its authenticity and rarity. It was, in their words, the Mona Lisa of decimal coinage. The story caught fire. Media outlets in the UK and around the world ran headlines about the millionaire 2 pence. Coin enthusiasts flocked to antique shops, garage sales, and family cupboards in hopes of finding their own copper fortune. But this one, solitary 2006 bronze coin stood alone, untouched and unmatched. It was eventually sold through a private collector's auction held in Geneva, Switzerland, a hotspot for elite numismatic transactions. The bidding was fierce, international, and fueled by both passion and prestige. When the hammer finally dropped, the sale price had reached an unimaginable $16 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $16 million for a 2 pence coin. How could something so small, so seemingly insignificant, fetch such a price? The answer lies in what it represents. This coin is more than metal. It is a moment in time, a tale of royal legacy, minting evolution, economic shifts, and human error. It is a story frozen in copper and steel, bearing the face of a monarch whose reign spanned generations, and a design whose days were numbered. Collectors value rarity, yes, but they also value stories. They value coins that whisper tales of what was and hint at what could have been. The 2006 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin is precisely that, a storyteller, a survivor, and now, a crown jewel in the world of rare coins. Top 3. The 1999 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it appeared no different from the billions of other 2p coins in circulation. Its copper-plated steel surface shimmered with that familiar reddish glow, and on the obverse, the dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II sat with regal composure. This particular effigy, known as the Fourth Portrait, had been in use since 1998, capturing Her Majesty in her 70s, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, could be found just beneath the neckline. This was a notable departure from the earlier effigies, as Rank Broadley deliberately chose a more realistic representation of the aging monarch, one that paid tribute to her enduring legacy and strength. The reverse of the coin, however, remained rooted in tradition. The familiar badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, was prominently displayed, flanked by the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. Designed by Christopher Ironside in the early 1970s, this reverse had been in use for decades, yet it retained a timeless quality that echoed Britain's heritage and heraldic customs. The denomination, 2 pence, was boldly inscribed below, maintaining a classic layout that felt both familiar and ceremonial. The year 1999 was significant in the context of British numismatics for another reason. It marked the final full year before a new era of coinage designs was about to unfold. Though the 2 pence wouldn't be drastically changed until later years, the Royal Mint had begun subtly adjusting production levels, metal composition, and minting volumes to reflect shifting economic conditions and usage demands. The 1999 2 pence, like many others from the decade, was struck in copper-plated steel rather than the earlier bronze composition, a change made in 1992 to reduce costs. This change, while seemingly minor, played a vital role in how these coins aged and survived over time. Despite the widespread use of this coin, not all 1999 2 pence pieces were created equal. Most were churned out in high numbers for circulation, meant to pass quickly from hand to hand, buying gum, newspapers, and tipping buskers. Yet, among the millions, a few anomalies slipped through: errors, low mintage varieties, and exceptionally well-preserved specimens that would one day command the attention of sharp-eyed collectors. Some were minted with misaligned dies, others with clipped planchets, and a rare few with the wrong obverse or reverse combinations. These small mistakes, invisible to most, became the golden ticket for numismatists. The thrill of finding one of these oddities in change was akin to unearthing buried treasure. Beyond errors, the 1999 2 pence coins minted for proof sets added a layer of exclusivity. These coins were struck with exceptional precision and care, using specially prepared dies and blanks to achieve a mirror-like finish. Sold in limited numbers to collectors, proof coins offered a glimpse into the art of perfection that underpinned the Royal Mint's reputation. Their sharp details, flawless surfaces, and protected packaging ensured that they would remain pristine for generations. Yet, it wasn't just the technical details that elevated the 1999 2-pence coin to greatness. It was its journey, how it moved from everyday circulation to elite collector status. Stories began surfacing in numismatic circles about unusually high auction prices for this coin. At first, skeptics dismissed them as flukes or anomalies driven by hype. But as time went on, it became clear that something unusual was happening. Prices kept climbing. Collectors weren't just paying for the coin, they were paying for its context, its rarity, and its quiet historical significance. One of the key reasons behind this coin's astronomical rise in value was its association with the cusp of the millennium. Coins minted in 1999 became symbolic relics of the last chapter of the 20th century. For collectors with a sense of nostalgia, the year 1999 carried a kind of poetic weight. It was a marker of transition, between centuries, between monarchic eras, between analog and digital realities. The 1999 2-pence coin became a token of that in-between time, a tangible reminder of how one era faded as another dawned. As demand surged, so did the scrutiny. Grading services began receiving a spike in submissions of 1999 2-pence coins. Those that came back with top-tier grades, MS 67 and above, were instantly snapped up by high-end collectors. In the auction world, buzz around the coin only intensified. A few high-profile sales in Europe and North America caught the attention of the international numismatic community. Soon, collectors from Asia, the Middle East, and Australia joined the hunt. In one particularly riveting auction, held in Geneva, a near-flawless specimen of the 1999 2-pence coin, brilliant uncirculated, full luster, and free of any contact marks, was put up for bidding. What began as a modest starting price quickly escalated into a fierce bidding war, with elite collectors and institutions locked in a battle for ownership. When the hammer finally came down, the coin had fetched an astonishing $23 million, setting a new record for modern British coinage and etching the 1999 2-pence into the annals of collecting history. The winning bidder, later revealed to be a private collector with a deep passion for transitional-era British currency, described the purchase as more than just acquiring metal. He called it a snapshot of time, encapsulated in copper and steel, a phrase that resonated deeply with coin lovers across the globe. From that moment forward, the legend of the 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence was cemented. Even today, the story continues to evolve. Treasure hunters scour their change jars and old wallets, hoping to uncover their own copy of this extraordinary coin. YouTube channels, like HD Ultra Rare Coins, document discoveries, explore history, and ignite curiosity in a new generation of collectors. The coin, once a humble 2p piece lying forgotten in drawers, now commands the respect of museums and private vaults alike. Its journey is a reminder that greatness can lie in the smallest of places, that a coin passed through 1,000 hands may someday become a cultural icon. The 1999 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence is not merely a piece of currency. It is a living artifact, a bridge between eras, and a monument to the enduring power of history, art, and chance. Top 4. Today, we're stepping back in time to the year 1996 to explore the enigmatic charm, the quiet rarity, and the surprising value of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. And as we journey through its legacy, design, and collectability, the final price tag will leave you speechless. Because this one coin, yes, this very coin, has fetched up to a staggering $28 million. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? A coin you might once have found tossed at the bottom of a pocket or rattling inside a forgotten drawer, now commanding a price higher than luxury homes and rare paintings. But that's the mysterious beauty of numismatics, the world where history and scarcity collide. Our story begins in the mid-1990s, a time when Britain was riding through waves of change, both culturally and politically. The coinage of the United Kingdom, while largely standardized, continued to reflect the identity of a nation proud of its heritage, yet adapting to a new era. In 1996, the British Royal Mint produced a series of coins under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Among them was the 2p coin, seemingly ordinary, yet deeply rooted in national identity. This wasn't a newly designed piece. In fact, its origins trace back to the decimalization of British currency in 1971, when the Royal Mint introduced the 2p as part of the new decimal system. Initially struck in bronze, the coin underwent a significant transition in 1992, shifting to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. The 1996 version, therefore, belongs to this newer generation, forged in a time of economic practicality. But even among the millions of coins produced in that year, certain anomalies began to surface. Some coins bore minute differences, variations in the edge, weight discrepancies, a slightly off-centered strike, or an unusual tone in the finish. These tiny inconsistencies, invisible to the casual eye, would later captivate collectors worldwide. In the coin collecting universe, rarity isn't just about how few were made, it's about how few remain, and how few exhibit unique features that set them apart. And the 1996 2p coin? It soon found itself quietly entering the realm of the elite. Let's take a moment to appreciate its design. On the obverse side rests the ever-regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Raphael Maklauf, an image that graced British coins from 1985 until 1997. Her gaze is calm, composed, and timeless, a reflection of national stability amidst changing tides. The crown rests delicately on her head, and the details of her attire and hair are crafted with stunning precision. Around her image reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1996, a Latin inscription that translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This isn't just decoration, it's a proclamation of sovereignty, etched in every circulating coin. Flip the coin, and the reverse greets you with the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Below the coronet, a ribbon bears the motto, Ich diene, which means I serve, in German. It's a symbol with deep-rooted history, dating back to Edward, the Black Prince, and remains a proud representation of the Prince of Wales to this day. This side of the coin simply reads, 2p, bold and unambiguous, encapsulating both heritage and clarity. Now, by 1996, the design itself hadn't changed much in decades. But it's precisely in this continuity that collectors seek the unusual, the outlier, the error, the die variation. Some 1996 2p coins were struck slightly off-center, creating a crescent-shaped edge that collectors dream of owning. Others had slightly misaligned dies, producing a shadow effect in the inscriptions. And the rarest of all? A handful of pieces struck using the wrong metal blanks, still bronze instead of the new steel, most likely due to leftover stock or minting oversight. These are the Holy Grails. Their discovery sent ripples through the numismatic community. But let's not forget the historical context. The mid-1990s were a pivotal time for Britain. In 1996, the country was grappling with political shifts, preparations for a new millennium, and cultural revolutions spurred on by music, technology, and fashion. The monarchy itself was under scrutiny. Queen Elizabeth II, while still widely respected, was navigating one of the most challenging decades of her reign. The tragic events surrounding Princess Diana were only a year away. It was a time of quiet tension, uncertainty, and anticipation. And within this atmosphere, the coins of the realm became snapshots of stability, a reassurance that tradition endured. That's why even a small 2p coin carries weight far beyond its face value. For many, it symbolizes a connection to their youth, to a time when a couple of coins could buy a snack or a ride on the bus. For collectors, it's a link to the artistry of minting, to the stories embedded in metal, to the thrill of the hunt. And when such a coin, modest in intention, happens to carry a rare flaw, or a historical oddity, its value skyrockets. One particular 1996 2p coin, found in near mint condition with an extremely rare minting error, a double die strike on the obverse, was quietly sold at a private auction in Switzerland. The initial estimates were modest, ranging from a few thousand to perhaps $100,000. But what happened in that auction room left everyone stunned. A bidding war erupted between two elite collectors, both representing institutions aiming to secure one of the rarest era coins of the Queen Elizabeth II series. By the time the gavel fell, the price had soared beyond imagination. The final bid? A jaw-dropping $28 million, yes, $28 million, for a 2-pence coin from 1996. But before you rush to check your old change jars, remember that not all coins from that year are created equal. The immense value lay not just in the year, but in the condition, the provenance, the era type, and the uniqueness of the piece. That particular coin was certified by top grading agencies, authenticated, and matched against mint records which confirmed it as one of only 2 known examples with that specific minting error. This, dear viewers, is the magic of numismatics. It teaches us that value is not always visible. That even the smallest, most overlooked objects can hide untold fortunes. The 1996 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin has now become a symbol, not just of royal minting or historical continuity, but of the thrill that comes from rediscovery. Collectors around the world are now scouring their holdings. Auctions are seeing an uptick in 1996 2-pence submissions. Numismatic forums buzz with new finds, and the legend continues to grow. Will there be another multi-million-dollar coin found tomorrow? No one knows. But that's what keeps the world watching. If you have one of these coins tucked away somewhere, look again. Examine it. You might just be holding a piece of history, something that ties you to the British monarchy, to a nation's past, and possibly to an unimaginable fortune. So, next time someone hands you change and a 2-pence coin slips into your palm, take a moment to really look. Because you never know. The story of the Elizabeth II 2-pence 1996 might just be your story too. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure you subscribe to HD Ultra Rare Coins for more incredible discoveries, fascinating stories, and million-dollar finds. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. Until then, keep your eyes open and your change close. You might be just one coin away from $28 million.